Awesome. Well, welcome everybody to another Mailbox Power Mastermind Brain Trust, where we're going to help a prospect or a customer get the most value out of using the Mailbox Power system, tool, ecosystem, communities, so on and so forth. And so today we have a really interesting persona. Each and every week we bring one persona to the table. This could be even you. If you have a question on how we can help you grow your business using the Mailbox Power ecosystem, reach out to me. We'll figure out if we can get it inside this mix. And we love to help. We love helping business owners just like you save time and make more money using the Mailbox Power ecosystem. Okay. So today we have a persona that's pretty, I think some people would maybe think, oh, this is unique, or maybe it's a little bit not unique, but here we go. And so what I'll do is I'll read through what we know about this company or know about this business a couple of times. And then I'm going to open it up and let you, the Mailbox Power affiliates, share different ways, different ideas, different thought processes on how this person, this business can actually achieve the goals that they want. So here we go. Today, we are going to be helping a pool service company. We are going to help a pool cleaning / service company grow their pool cleaning business. Okay, so let me tell you what we know about this. And this was actually really interesting because I would have thought this was I learned something completely weird and different, not weird, but very different about how I would have thought about a pool service business. And so this might trigger you. Very, very, very few customers come as a result of referrals from other customers. Okay, here's why. In the pool service cleaning business, it is highly competitive, and people just keep the same maintenance program on their pools, owner after owner after owner after owner. So it is a very, almost like a mafioso type deal, in the sense that once you have a customer, like it's really not as easy as just sending postcards to a new customer or somebody that's already using somebody and they jump on. Okay, so highly competitive, very, very low turnover in terms of how a pool service company gets new business. Okay, but this company, their new goal is new customers. The reason I want to focus on new customers is they are already in with a lot of pools in their area, right? And they feel that the top of mind, they're pretty good about shaking hands and staying in front of their current customer base. They do recognize that we could use them a little bit on that side, but he's pretty good about shaking hands and knowing everybody there and knowing the security guards and knowing those type of folks. Okay. However, they have identified a few different places where they believe their referrals could come from much more than they currently do. Number one, HOAs. They love working in condo buildings and those type of things where there's a bunch of condos and those HOAs, homeowners associations. If you're not aware of what an HOA is, maybe you don't live in part of a country where you have a bunch of those. Out here in California, it's three quarters of the folks. So HOAs, some of those are self-managed and some of those are managed by property managers, okay, who manage HOAs. Number two, they get new customers from referrals from people that are landscapers and people that build pools, that are actually digging the holes, doing the concrete, doing the tile work, and doing the landscape because it's a new pool. It's a potential new customer. They also get business from retail stores, okay, like Pool Equip and those type of stores where people are going in. They have found that if somebody's going in, if Debbie has a pool and she's going into the pool retail thing, she probably doesn't have a service provider. She's probably doing it herself. So the pool retail stores are a good source of referrals for him. And then also, and this is really kind of an interesting one, and I didn't really dig too deep into this, but it is kind of interesting that a lot of his business comes from real estate agents when they're out selling a house and they go into escrow. They have to do a pool inspection. They usually have somebody come out and do a pool inspection to make sure that it's okay for the mortgage, so on and so forth. Those realtors also make good sources of referrals for him because there's a chance as the house turns over for an opportunity for a new owner to come in there. Okay. Now, He also told me, and this was an interesting thing, and I'm going to throw this to the brain trust. Don't know if it'll spark anybody here, but he said basically what ends up happening is when these guys retire, they sell their book of business, which is basically their customer list. They sell it as a book. So they don't just close shop and say, hey, go find someone. They don't really refer someone out. They try to sell the business as a book of business. And usually it's to one of their friends. Okay, so it's usually to one of their friends. It's a very underground, very tight-knit, competitive marketplace. Okay, and he also very clearly understands the lifetime value of a customer is quite high in this case because they're servicing pools every single month, and because they stay forever and ever and ever and ever. Those folks stay on for a long time, right? As we were talking about, customers don't turn over. Okay. So I'm going to reread everything we know about this pool service business while you guys are coming up with some fantastic ideas how we can help him grow the business. Okay, so let me reread it. So we're helping a pool service company today. It's very competitive. There's very low turnover in terms of houses changing out pool service folks. He wants to generate new customers, obviously, and most of his referrals, and this is just completely, my brain can't wrap myself around all of this, comes from HOAs, homeowners associations, property management firms when they take over a new HOA. He's got a couple of HOAs that when they need somebody, they bring him in. Landscapers and pool builders, the actual guys digging the dirt, digging the holes, putting in tile, etc. Some of the retail stores in the local town, the local area, are also good because he said what happens is somebody doesn't want to pay the money for a pool service person, then they mess it up. They've got to go figure out how to fix it at the store. That gives the store an opportunity inside of there. And also real estate agents who are doing pool inspections. Okay, so when you buy a house and you go into escrow, you have to have the electrical inspected, the fireplace inspected, the foundation inspected, the pool inspected, so on and so forth. So he does have a few relationships with realtors. He also recognizes at some point he may have to grow in big chunks by buying one of his competitors as those guys decide to move on. And he also understands the power of multi-touch automations in terms of he's not looking to send out a postcard campaign or a postcard automation and has his phone's going to ring off the hooks from day one. Okay, so with that, let's open this puppy up and have some amazing brain trust ideas on how we can help him grow his pool service / cleaning business. So we're going to start with Mike and Brenda Sanchez.
So a couple of different ideas, Casey. Of course, I would go in, the first thing I would do is go into the list builder and find everybody who has pools in the area because they may or may not have a pool service. And then I would, like you said, he believes in multi-touch. I would do a postcard series on how to do it themselves. Sort of like they end up in the pool store trying to figure out why they can't get the pH right or the alkaline right or whatever. Is if you share with them, they're going to get frustrated and they're going to want to call. The second thing I would do is I would build a loyalty program with those pool businesses, real estate agents, and those power partners where he's getting referrals from, and offer some type of a referral program for them that, you know, they may be Starbucks gift cards. They may be, he may offer a discount for the first cleaning or the first time out service for those people's clients. Those are some of the ideas that ran through my head to start, and I'm sure there's a lot more, but I see Kimberly and Marla, so I'll let them go and then I'll come back if I think of something else. Okay,
fantastic. Thanks, Brenda. Kimberly.
Good morning. I would create a gigagram with all of the testimonials, a couple of print testimonials in the gigagram with pictures of people's pools, and use the list builder to find HOAs that have pools locations that have pools, use the gigagram and use the, I'm just trying to get my foot in the door, and have the visual evidence right there that, I'm reliable and dependable and I make people happy. I elevate the property value, and have that QR code so that he actually has a video of somebody who gives a testimonial as well.
Awesome. So a couple of things, if you're just watching this and you're not aware of what a gigagram is a giant card. I think I just actually have one right here. It might be a little bit of a mess, but so I have a gigagram right here. It's a giant card. It's the size of one's head. If you have a big head, it's it could cover your full head, but giant. And on the inside, you've got full coverage, being able to do the front, the inside, as well as the back. So the gigagram is huge. And then obviously you can add one of those little feet as a gift. And we love sending that out when we say, hey, we're just trying to get our foot in the door. You could drop that in a gigagram, make it a little lumpy. And then we like to call that lumpy mail. So absolutely awesome, Kimberly. I love that. Fantastic idea. Marla.
I'm coming in from the East Coast. So you're talking West Coast. In East Coast, we have the most in-ground pools per capita, even though it snows here 6 months of the year. So what I found, because in my house, I had a pool and we had someone who was initially servicing it, but one of the neighbors got a new person and started sharing it. And then our entire neighborhood of pools went to that person because it was totally different. And they started to offer an incentive for referring other people in the neighborhood to them. Also, when you talk about giving ideas, in Rochester, we have to open and close our pools. I don't know how often that happens on the West Coast. So opening and closing the pools are a big deal, and sending out a gigagram or postcards on how to prepare the pool for closing or opening and what you need available, how much chlorine you should dump in before they come to open the pool, how much chlorine you need when they're about to close the pool, all makes a huge difference. And the business that we use has grown unbelievably just from the word of mouth and how awesome they are.
That's awesome. And so Marla, how does that word of mouth spread from neighbor to neighbor?
Well, we walk around the neighborhood a lot and start talking to each other. We meet out and about and we all know who's getting pools and that kind of thing. So our pool was there when we moved there, but most of the other pools in the neighborhood were added after we moved there. So a lot of it was by word of mouth. And sometimes they used other people. They were so expensive. They weren't doing a good job. We had someone who came and put a new liner in, and it was a disaster. So then we knew that that wasn't the person that we wanted to keep using. We found someone else and we spread the word, and he got all the business for opening and closing pools and replacing liners.
Oh, fantastic. So the opening and the closing of the pool on the East Coast is an event. So Marla, let me ask you a question. Does the same person that services the pool usually open and close it?
Yes.
Okay.
Checks the heater, does all that stuff when they open it, has all those services. And so they can make a gigagram that says, these are all the services we have, or send out postcards that say, these are the services, or this is what you should be checking, or this is when you get, it rains a lot sometimes. And if you have your cover on and it rains, you get a lot of algae. So they may give you ideas of how to slow down the algae growth during that time because it's hot and messy.
Awesome. Awesome. I love that. I love that. Who else has an idea or two we can throw into this brain trust and help this pool company? Marie Benoit.
Well, certainly for homeowners, I think when they do service a homeowner for the first time, for sure, send a thank you with a 2-pack of brownies that is putting something in the hands of that homeowner that they almost cannot help but tell their neighbors about. So that's going to help spread the word a whole lot faster.
Awesome. I love that. And with the brownie is what in my head, when you were saying that, Marie, I reckon I just know in talking with these guys that their long-term value of that customer is so great that my thank you gift suggestion to them was to a new homeowner that just bought a house would be a charcuterie plate that says, or one of the cutting boards that says, the Sanchez pool, or the Benoit pool, and then 2 of our tumblers so that they actually could have cheese and wine out at their pool for the first time, especially
love that.
when they first
Yeah.
arrive. So
I love
awesome. I love that, Marie. Debbie.
So Case, I know that this is not exactly using our list builder, but when I lived in Vegas and I owned a window covering company there, and Vegas is the perfect market for pools, certainly. There was a service that I used that gave me a list of every home that was closed on the previous day. They pulled the list from the county recorder's office, and by 8 o'clock in the morning, I had a mailing list of all the and there was 200 or 300 a day at that time. I have no idea what they are now, but and I had to do all the work myself. I put the mailers together and sent them all out, and that's how I got quite a bit of business, especially when I was first starting. But I think getting a list like that could be super important, because you get to them as soon as they've bought the house, and then send them out like a before and after picture, a before when it's green and not pretty, and an after picture, after it's been cleaned and serviced and stuff like that. So that would be one thing. And then I would certainly build relationships. The story that Joe has used about the guys that dig the holes, the excavation company, like that would be what I would do. I would be building relationships with the pool building companies and sending them thank yous, and they have salespeople just like any other company does. And I would build a loyalty program for their salespeople where they got, maybe it's gift cards from our store, Amazon gift cards or whatever. But salespeople are all about the money. Can they make a little bit more money? And so if they're selling a pool and referring a pool cleaning company, that would be a great thing. So that's what I would do.
That's awesome, Debbie. I was combining in my head, combining you and a little bit what Marie said. The sales reps, I think, would love extra money in terms of gift cards and rewards there. But the guys digging the holes, digging the dirt in the backyard, man, I bet they love brownies, and I bet they love treats that are being able to be sent there. So that might be something to do. I wrote down a couple of other things, Debbie. Just what you sparked me thinking is, when the MLS or the listing service lists new houses every day, it's pretty easy to see which houses are being listed that have pools in them, right? It's also very clear who that realtor is that is selling that home. So there might be some potential outreach that we could start building inside of there as well. And one other thing, and then we'll continue to open up. So just raise your hand during Zoom, and we'll bring you into the equation here. Is one of the markets that we didn't even talk about is we have a lot of people that are turning over Airbnbs, and those Airbnb properties are not necessarily loyal to the person who was doing it before, especially because they're running that as an Airbnb or an Airbnb conversion. Airbnb conversion just means that they're turning it from a residential home into a potential Airbnb property. And I was just thinking about this. I have a client actually in Houston that's one of the things that they do is they turn houses over to Airbnbs, and almost always they put a pool in there. because that obviously attracts more Airbnb visitors. So awesome. Who else has anything that you want to jump in here and share with? Either just take yourself off mute or raise that yellow hand. Yeah, Kimberly.
Start some kind of a postcard campaign with landscapers so that you could build a relationship, because you want the 411 on when they do landscaping and they know that that property has a pool, and see if there can be, you could create some kind of win-win, and then graduate the campaign so that they get the brownies, they get the pops, hey, pop by, popcorn, things like that, to really sow a good relationship.
Well, the other thing, Kimberly, that I just thought of as you were saying that is, what if we partnered with the landscaping company and we did a cross promotion? So rather than just trying to send cards to the landscapers, we actually let them sponsor the back of a card, or we send out to the neighbors with pools highlighting the landscapers that we have those relationships with. And then we send those cards to the competing landscapers, obviously, as you know that. So the landscapers are now jumping in here. So that's a great one, Kimberly. Anybody else want to jump in here?
You could do that with the pool stores too, Casey, is to partner with them, because obviously they got to get the word out, and there's lots that the pool stores have that they can buy from them, whether they be skimmers and that. Yes, the pool maintenance people can do some of that, but not everything can be gotten from the pool maintenance folks. So, and
Yeah.
you never know when you want to upgrade a pump or whatever.
Absolutely. That's great. I mean, I love all these kind of cross promotions. So let me just go back, because some people are asking me in the chat. MLS is the multiple listing service where all people, when they're looking for a house, they go, and all realtors end up listing it there. HOA stands for Homeowners Association. When you have neighborhoods or condominiums, usually there is an association that governs all of that, governs all of the common area stuff. And Airbnb is a service that allows people to rent out short-term vacation rentals on short-term stays. And so there's an entire industry that's massive about people that don't want to stay at hotels, but they might want to stay at an Airbnb property that people rent out their homes, they rent out their own house, they rent out a room in their house, so on and so forth. So just want to make sure I clear up any of the acronyms that I use. I try to get most of them. Sometimes I slip. So okay. Anybody else jump in here? Jump in here with your ideas.
Casey, there's a couple that have come through the chat.
Then they need to take their hands off mute and they can share them in here. That would be awesome. Mute doesn't go out on the video. So if you guys want to share what you're writing in the chat, pop yourself off mute and share away. It'd be awesome.
I'll share.
Yeah, go, Laura. Awesome. Welcome.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether it's been mentioned already because I had a phone call, so I apologize. For any mail actually going to the homeowner of the pool, I would either use Google overhead view and take a snapshot, or I get a drone photo of the pool, and on the front of every envelope, the front of every card, the front of every postcard, using our image auto merge feature, I'd make sure that the homeowner had a picture of their own pool on there.
That's a great one. I was thinking right when you were saying that, using the photo that the realtor is even listing in the ML list would be a good place to auto merge that, because usually, like, I just sold my house. I paid an exorbitant sum of money for a guy to come over and take really great pictures of my house to help somebody buy it, right? So those pictures are up on the MLS. I love that idea, and being able to use our auto merge feature. For those of you that aren't aware of our auto merge feature, it simply allows you to take a photograph and attach it to a contact inside the system, so that if you want to send the same card to, say, 500 homeowners, you could have the system auto-magically attach that photo to the front of the envelope on each individual one, or the back of a card on each individual one, or on the front, or whatever. So it really allows you to take a picture or a photograph and attach it to the contact inside the system. And then when you send out a card, all you do is click a button, and it just takes every picture and it'll put it on every single card. And thus the hyper personalization and customization that we offer here is unbelievably awesome. So
Casey, can I
awesome,
put
great.
an asterisk? Can I put an asterisk on that?
Sure.
The pictures that you're going to find on MLS typically are owned and proprietary property of the photographer and realtor because they've paid for those pictures. So you just really want to be very careful on how you use those pictures that you pull from the MLS.
Yeah, my asterisk to the asterisk is I follow the philosophy I'd rather ask for permission, forgiveness than permission. So I would use that, and maybe I would highlight the realtor, and I would even highlight the photographer. If the photographer says photos by Johnny Sixpack, I would literally probably put in the photograph by Johnny Sixpack, and I would actually probably even add their name or whatever. So to Debbie's point, I want to involve as many people in this process as possible. So great point, Debbie. And obviously we don't want to get ourselves in trouble. So Joseph.
Well, actually, I was going to mention about what Debbie said as a realtor. That is very important. People are getting into trouble for that. So it's already spoken. Yes.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. Anybody else? The brain trust is in good mode this morning. I love it. I love it. Anybody else going? Okay, we're going to put a lid on this one. So I want to just thank everybody that participated in today's brain trust and mastermind, helping our pool service, pool cleaning company generate more business, getting their phone to ring, and adding more pools to their service route. So until next time, thank you so much. If you have an interest in Mailbox Power, jump over to the person that showed you this video, and they'll help you get set up with either trying it out, seeing what we have to offer. We'd love to have you be a customer here at Mailbox Power. So with that, have an amazing day. Let's go give every pool cleaning service company in America and Canada an awesome day. See you guys next time.